Excellent. Hello, hi, welcome to Roll for Bull. We are a D&D actual play live stream. We are doing Odyssey of the Dragonlords. We have 4 heroes here today. The Dragonlords. You can say hello, Dragonlords, should you wish.
Hello, Dragon
Hello.
Lords.
Hello, Dragonlords. Ooh,
And
that's loud.
these beautiful, wonderful souls. And we are here to start or continue the epic campaign. Whew, let's jump into it. Our 4 heroes on the continent of Thylia, a land of Greek mythology and magic, have been chosen by destiny, perhaps, to stand up against the Titans and try to prevent a war that is how many days? 34 days in the making, or remaining before this war breaks out. These 4 heroes have been traveling from island to island, trying to find ways to prevent it. Trying to find ways to prevent this from happening. And let me see. I was trying to think of what was putting in my head. You have been trying to think of ways to prevent this from happening, and in their journeys, they have made their way to the island of Fates. And this is the island where many answers will be found. Our heroes have had their lives, each of their lives, haunted by different questions and mysteries. 2 of them have been told that answers lay here for them. And so they come here to see if that's true. One moment. Okay, testing to make sure that my Twitch works. I'm gonna roll, and our 4 heroes will introduce themselves. As a tradition, each time that we start a session, they have to introduce themselves, their character, and one thing about them. I'm going to ask each of them to explain, to say what their character's favorite board game would be. My camera's messing up. I'm going to have them explain what their favorite board game would be. And that's always fun to speculate. So I have rolled, and I'm going with Tammy. Tammy, would you mind introducing? I can come back to you.
Go first. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna.
Might be last.
All right, I can go with that. Allie, would you mind introducing yourself? Yeah, that's the dice favor you most of the time anyway, so you're going with that.
I'm Allie. My character's name is Callista. She's a satyr bard warlock.
Mm-hmm.
And can I choose a card game instead?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Her favorite physical game would be poker.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. I'm gonna roll on this. And Jen, would you mind going next?
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Craren. Or no, my name is Jennifer. I play Craren,
She's
the Wood
already
Elf
missed
monk.
one.
Wow, Uncle to Arcades. Board game. Okay. So there's a new one I've just played. It's called Poetry for Neanderthals. And you
Beautiful name.
basically hit somebody on the other team with an inflatable club if they use words that are bigger than a 1 syllable. And knowing Craren, he might go a little overzealous with the inflatable
That's
club
incredible.
and is very smart enough to at least hopefully get 1 syllable words out to make an incredible Neanderthal poem at the end of the game. So I think
That was a
that's
perfect time to be
very
stuck
good.
on words.
Craren and Jennifer's mindset is kind of the same right now. So yeah.
This is excellent. And since we promised Tammy would go last, that brings us to Reed. Mm. Oh my God, he would rock magic. I look better without the slide. I don't need the slide.
That is so meta, honestly.
Yeah.
You fit in the wizard playing Magic the Gathering. Holy crap.
It would fit him really well too, and also it's just perfect. I don't even need this.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Since he was muted, Reed, do you want to give your answer again? Do you want me to summarize?
Well, yeah, I said I was going to be Scrabble,
Mhm.
but with card games on the table, it's obviously going to be Magic.
All right.
Obviously.
Obviously. I get an obvious out of that guy. So let's go with Tammy. You are up.
All right. So I play Kiki, the Triton barbarian fighter, daughter of a boar right now, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say that uh, instead of a board game or instead of a card game, she would just rather sit with a puzzle on her own and just, in the quiet solitude of her mind. Being in the military, she's always around people, so she just wants quiet. So she would go with a puzzle,
Y'all went in different
probably of some
directions with
sort of
this.
seascape.
Y'all went with different directions with this. All right, this is fantastic. So our heroes have found themselves, like I said, at the Island of Fates, where they will hopefully, if things go their way, meet with the Fates themselves and get some answers to some looming questions. If you've been watching our social media channels, I have promised that tonight we'll have a lot of narrative and canon. Timmy's mom says you're a little louder, Reed. Okay, there we go. So I promised a lot of canon and reveals, and this will be an interesting session. Before we get into it, I got announcements. I believe it's on the 20th and the 27th. We're going to advertise this a lot. They need to know. The 20th and 27th, we are starting an hour earlier on those 2 days. We're going from 6 to 9, nice, on both days instead of 7 to 10.
You know what? That coincides with our episode. So
Yeah,
it's just a countdown to nice.
the countdown to nice. That's an arc on its own. So we're going to be an hour earlier on those days. Keep that in mind. If you have a Twitch app or something, you should turn notifications on so you can be aware. We'll remind you. Yeah, just that is what the Fates have decreed.
I'll also
Not
try
next
to.
week.
I'll also try to update the Twitch schedule so that it's
Mhm.
visible for that.
Wonderful.
And store, I would imagine, is what you were going to be talking at me for. So
Yep.
we do have a merch store. I still feel like I'm a little loud. Let me know. We have a merch store, and it is live. It's available for you to check out, and I will put the link down there in the chat. We have all kinds of great stuff, including shirt and pant. And now that I'm
Shirt and pants.
now that I'm on the spot, I cannot remember everything that's there. I do
And
know that
sandals.
unfortunately the pet
Notebooks.
bandana has been discontinued. That's not our choice.
Oh.
Oh
That has
no!
been discontinued by the merch store. But all right, we will go back down a little bit more. I'm working with a different headset today, so apologize for that.
That's fine.
Yeah, so check that out at streamlabs.com/rollforpull/merch.
And I think that everybody here knows it, but if you're watching in the chat, you have channel points, which will be vegan bacon for now, and you can use that vegan bacon to buy boosts for the heroes. These can really help them along the way, and it is a big deal. I believe the count is at 4 times that the audience has actually nudged the heroes into victory. So if you got those points, victory.
No.
What's up?
I was
Oh.
opening Twitch.
No, I was like, yeah, I freaked out too. Okay, that was our jump scare for today.
I didn't even know what was going on. I was busy checking our chat out.
So, I forgot my train of thoughts. I think we're ready to begin. I completely forgot where I was. Oh yeah, channel points. Use those channel points for helping them out. Now, I don't think that I have another distraction in me. So, show of hands, who's ready to begin? All right. Then we are going to start our session. Tonight's episode of Odyssey of the Dragonlords. This would be where we roll the theme, but we don't have one. So we're just gonna jump in. How great would it be if I just riffed one right now?
Do it.
Your ship, the Dryad, is right outside of the island of Fates. I believe it was the morning, wasn't it? Or did I say it was night? I believe it was.
It was still nighttime.
Yeah, we arrived at night.
because- Yeah, we're just ending the night, but I think Kiki wanted to do something else, maybe.
Okay, it's the nighttime. Okay. Um,
Either
was-
the night or if it's first thing in the morning, regardless, really quick, 2-minute thing.
okay.
It will not derail the whole episode.
Well, you don't give us enough
I'm-
credit.
You know, you can run polls in here to let people bet on things, and I kind of want to let people bet. Um, let me see. Hold on. I'm going to do that. Never mind. So, you guys are on this ship looking out at the Island of Fates. Pythor, Kiki's father, was just lost to
It's not my dad.
having broken an oath of the gods, is now cast away and lost somewhere on the continent of Hylia, transformed into a boar. Slowly losing his mind. Things will get better, we hope. Or there'll be a wonderful feast for everybody.
To be fair, Sidon's in the same boat. Pun totally unintended.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's
Tammy?
right.
The two boars behind Reed.
Fucking great novel. So anyway, Tammy, it is your action. What you wanted to do? You wanted to request opening the session, so it's your call.
Okay, so again, whether it's just before we all fall asleep or whether it's before we get out of bed, I just want to basically take a couple minutes and grab one of my golden leaves that I got on the Island of the Heart. So Mitros's golden leaves, and I just want to take a few moments to reach out or commune to Mitros, kind of give her a quick lowdown of what happened to Pythor, and if she is in any possible way able to give Valis any assistance with tracking down the Pythor boar, we would certainly appreciate it.
I want you to roll a religion check,
Oh dear. I have to roll.
and the number is not low.
That's a 4.
Oof. Ouch.
You pray for help. And you sincerely hope that your words were heard. There is a breeze in the wind. There's a breeze past the ship, and you cannot be sure if sometimes it's just the wind, sometimes it is some gentle murmuring and comfort. There's no real way to tell what it is in this instance. What does Kiki think it is?
She's hoping it's Mitros, but she's also aware it could just very well be the wind off the sea.
You're in the next morning.
Ooh,
Am I
we all
correct that
know
we
what that means.
do we knock it down? We knock down the pillow a day? Brings us down to day
Knock it-
33.
Long rest?
33.
Yeah, you guys all long rested. That was the night before. You all long rested up and what's up?
I am
Allie?
down hit points, so I'm gonna long rest now.
Yeah. How did you get down hit points? There was just a trial.
I hurt myself in Esther's fucking.
Oh,
place,
right. 'Cause
remember?
you shocking
cast
something
Shatter.
else, Ursa.
You
Oh,
angsted
Shatter.
so hard it took HP away.
Yeah, I filled my
That's-
savings.
That's some Matt Murdock shit. That's fantastic.
I love it. That's totally a Callista move, though. Like, for reals. Good enough till I can fix it.
Well, my spell's back.
Yeah.
Come on, you hit yourself pretty hard, too, right? Didn't you, like,
Yeah.
lose a lot of...
17 hit points, yeah. More than
Oh,
Sidon
shit.
hurt me.
So, show of hands, who's okay with saying that their character's on the deck of the ship looking out at the island? Okay. You guys are out there. And you hear, as you're looking out, you hear Kyra's voice. And she says, sometimes it's like behind you. She says, sometimes it's scary to get the answers. Sometimes it's just a comfort in knowing it's just a question. You know what I mean? I mean, I know a
Yeah.
lot, but the things I don't know.
Yeah, but I feel that like you're better prepared when you have more information, right? Usually.
That's fair.
I don't know. I thought I wanted to know what happened to my family, but I mean, what if they just get turned into boars?
I mean, what are the odds that'll happen twice?
Not
I mean-
only that, but we are going to go through and rescue 2 boars, not 1 boar. Might as well do the rest.
We could just... What if we just went from eating bacon all the time to saving pigs? That could be... She points at Cray when she goes, this could be our redemption arc. No, that's terrible. That is terrible.
But
Never mind.
I don't like vegan. I only like turkey bacon. How about if things get turned into turkeys too?
Well, we can ask.
That's always the risk, isn't it?
No one get
always
turned
the
into
risk?
animals that we eat.
As long as people are being turned into things, you never quite know what you've eaten.
Oh
No.
man, I don't want to think about this right now.
How many people
Euphemian.
have I eaten?
I know, right, Kyra?
And I hate them.
I don't... Oh.
Don't ask a druid, because they'll tell you they were already all people.
Oh.
I mean, my brother said he's eaten people before, but like I think he was joking. But he didn't
See-
seem like he was joking.
This is why you just punch shit out. That's it.
Why does that seem more civilized? This is weird. This is
Yeah,
weird. I don't want to. I don't want to eat people.
Let's go. Let's just go.
So who are you bringing with you on there? Because it seems kind of dangerous.
Well, I think you owe us a story first.
I do. She lights up completely.
It'll be like old times, Kyra.
She goes, okay, she sort of perks up. She goes, I haven't gotten to tell you a story in a while. And, well, it's the morning, so it's a little... Okay, so if you can forgive a little bit and do a little bit of what I call suspension of disbelief, if you could just... She, like, throws her hands up, and you, like, see these stars start to form above you, forming these constellations and everything. On all the, like, star moonlight and everything. And, like, just the space above you can see all these things, and, like, a shooting star just moves past in this fake sky. And she goes, okay. She goes, I like a little flourish. She goes, okay. So, during the First War, Lonnie, is this weird? It feels weird to be telling a story in the morning that's supposed to be like a night story.
Suspension of disbelief.
I'm
Suspension of
gonna get...
disbelief.
I have it. During the First War, Melania, one of the more famous bards of that time, was captured by Lutheria. You know, the Titan of dreams and death. Now, she was terrified about what was going to happen to her. So Melania sings songs of all kinds of dark humor and strange jests that made a joke out of the First War's horrors and things, and it was cruel and it was dismal and it was clever because she won Lutheria's favor for a time. She won her freedom. But as she tried to leave, Melania did that thing that adventurers and heroes sometimes do, where she grew overly bold, tried to take something of her for herself on the way out. Lutheria. She was captured a second time and taken to the island of Oathbreakers. There, Lutheria made her one last offer. If Melania could make her laugh with one song, everything would be forgiven. Melania racked her brain for anything new. She came up with something. Her smile lit up as she thought she had an idea. She picked up her lute and she opened her mouth quicker than you could imagine. Lutheria's claws were in there and ripped out Melania's tongue, silencing her voice forever. The 5 stars in this constellation remind us of Polania's story. The 2 brightest are the singer herself, the next to her the lute, and the last star is the piece of her that was taken from her. It is possible to change your own path and your own future. It is also possible to be your own damnation. Melania was both in a very short time. And I'm supposed to only witness what happens next, so I'm not gonna say much, but I hope that if you hear any of my stories, you hear this one. Thank you for hearing it. A story isn't a story until there's an audience, so I'm really grateful for the 4 of you. She wisps up and grabs the stars, collects them, pulls them back down with her hand, opens her hand, and they're gone. Says, I don't think that I lifted your spirits before this, but I think that I did what my job should be to do. So sorry about that. How's everyone feeling?
Well, everything can't have just a bright side or just a dark side, so it just needs to get done. Come on, Cal. I'll give her a hug. No matter what you find out about your family, you got us now. I might be a bore, but I won't become one, hopefully.
Oh, you're
It's true.
not a bore, Prey. You are not
Kind
a
of give him
bore.
You are definitely not boring at all. I mean, there are people here that no one's really boring. Everybody's just someone else. Everybody is just a different genre, and it depends on what you want to read. So I don't think there's anything boring about you.
Have you seen me work out? Come on now.
Yes.
Actually, Craig gets sad because he doesn't have his gym bro, Pythor friend to work out with now. Euphemian, will you at least work out with me a little bit?
Only if you agree to do it after the sun's up.
But you go get things in the morning, early bird.
Yeah, half the day's gone by the time the sun is up.
Ugh.
Well, that's
Anyways.
okay. I'm more than happy to stay up until well after the sun has gone for the night. It's the best time for reading.
That's also true.
Craren, I'll serenade you while you work out if you want.
You want to play poetry for Neanderals? It's a new
What?
game I found out. Yeah. We used to play it back in my old days. It's fun.
I mean, I'm good at poetry.
But you just said you found it out.
Well, I just remembered about it.
I think Craig got hit in the head.
IQ isn't great right now.
Frequently hit in the head.
That also happens quite often.
Oh hey, how about that terrifying island in the distance?
Oh, hey,
Right. Yeah, right.
Well, what do we think? Shall we bring Kyra with us? You're going to
yeah.
have to promise, if you're going to do this, no fighting. None.
Me, I don't fight.
Observer. The chronicler.
I've never fought. No, of course I'm only going to chronicle. That's what I do.
Alyssa, can you make her like a press pass that has restrictions on it?
See what I got.
I can, I don't. And she like puts like she like whimsies together like this like sort of like faux like cloth with the word bard written on the front and the back.
Where do I get one of those?
Sorry.
It's like the Red Cross if, they weren't zealous about defending their trademarks.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what was I gonna say? So are you guys taking Kyra? So are you guys show of hands, who is ready to go in here?
I mean,
Allie, what you got?
I just have a quick. We don't even need to do it, but like I just want to tell Bullbug to protect that egg and keep it on the fire.
Yeah, you tell Bullbug, and I think just he would be holding the egg like in his lap by the fire, like near it. Like he's not gonna. His mission in life is egg right now.
Okay, perfect. That's all I want from him. I mean, that's not all I want from him, but like right now, that's all I want.
You want
You know
his
what I
other eggs for later.
do minotaurs lay eggs?
That is not what she meant.
You mean what Cray meant? Anyways, yeah, sure.
Trying to
So,
keep
Allie,
it
are we
to
good
trying to keep it to our PG rating here, man.
Allie, are we good to go?
Yes, I'm good now. Thank you. I just checking the box.
Is Arcades coming with us, Euphemia?
I think he has to. Keep him on the lowdown.
Yes.
Mhm.
Load him in the
low
baby
down
barn.
as possible. Oh, yes. Yes. I think we still
It's
have
like
that.
you're just a hunchback. You just end up looking like a hunchback. If we put a cape over him, you're just a hunchback.
Do you want me to watch him?
Do you want to take him for a bit? He can be a bit of a handful.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I'll hand him over.
Be a
Take
good
some-
boy, Arcades. Be a good boy.
Hey there. And she's talking. Hey.
Behave.
I will.
Not
And she,
you. Both of you. All right.
and she goes, and she has the scroll and the quill follow her, like she sometimes does when her hands are full. You guys journey down, and this is where I shift the music a little bit, because that's the last time we'll be playing the gentle music for the rest of the session.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Thanks, I hate it.
As I described before, there is very little of this island that is approachable from the sea, with almost all of it being a large stone cliff jutted up into the sky. To the northeast, there's a small, shallow spot you can walk and dock the ship. There's very little plant life here. Almost everything is rocks and dirt. There's some moss, some stunted, twisted trees, small lizards, frogs, that sort of thing. As you traverse down the only available path, you see small, murky pools of water and hear seagulls crying out endlessly in the distance.
Fine. Fine.
Bef-
Fine.
Before you go any further, is there anything you want to do, or do you want to keep moving forward?
Does the island does the island itself look dangerous, or is it just hard to land on?
It looks barren. It looks like there is no warmth here. That is
Okay.
whether it looks dangerous is too subjective for me to answer directly.
Okay.
Does it, does anything about the island, like, get my Cray monk senses tingling for, like, anything for boating?
Boating?
For
Oh, I misheard. I wasn't even fucking with you. I just misheard.
She said it as two separate words.
Foreboding.
I
God, we are in a mood today.
I want
Full
you to
moon
roll.
tomorrow, people. I think.
I want you to define what foreboding is in this context, and then I want you to roll a perception check.
I guess,
Friday?
like, yeah, like, if this is the place where Crayrin might have an understanding of why Lutheria is so interested in him, is there something like maybe that, like, has a hand, like a hand of, like, Lutheria on this island?
Okay, so you're looking for some sort of sign of the Titans or something. I want you to roll a perception check. Sure, yeah.
Can I cast guidance?
Yeah.
All right. D4.
Okay, so it was funny. I'm looking for guidance, and I'm like, no, that's not part of the list. Okay, so, wait, did you want me to roll again? Perception?
Yeah, perception.
Okay, perception, and then
I think I
I'm
figured out how I want to
add...
do guidance, Allie, in the future, but we can talk about it later.
Oh, it's awful. So,
Against
oof,
my will.
9.
9.
I have a good thing on perception too.
D4, bro.
I
You-
know. Crit fail on that ass. Anyways.
You don't see anything indicative of any god or titan, or honestly, Anai, what I'm going to give you, because I will give you something, is that you're going to have the absence of anything, because you're not going to see any sign of the native races, of the traveler races. There is very little evidence from where you are standing that there's ever been a community of any kind on this island, let alone a god or a titan.
Okay. So I'll probably let the party know and say, you know, this isn't like the other islands that we've been in. As dangerous as they were, there were other people living on there. I don't think there's anything like that on this island. This could just be...
It's hard to imagine. It's such an appealing place.
Yeah.
I plan on making a vacation home here when we're all done this.
You know, that's the best. Sometimes you can make any place into the best vacation place if there's a good beach.
Get in while it's low, and then
Yeah.
There's this whole place is just like half of a character into itself. If you like said, "Oh, here is this hero, and his name is so and so," and they say, "Where does he live?" and they said, "On this island," anyone reading that story would know half of what they need to know about that character immediately. This place is an aesthetic that I have to admit that there's something to it, is what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't want to live here, but I would love anybody that does.
Could we call this place Chad?
If you want.
Well, you know, we have like a Stewart and a Murphy. We might as well get a Chad in there somewhere.
It's
that
already
an
got a
apple?
name.
Bard Island.
Well, it's the Isle of the Fates.
you can call it Iotfi.
Iotfi. Got it.
IOTF.
What's happening?
I don't know. There's some kind of field here making everyone lose their minds. I think it's the stress.
So brief.
And Kara's just sort of like biting her lip and looking around.
Can within 30 feet of me while
I'm sorry,
we're.
what was that?
Can everyone stay within 30 feet of me while we're exploring?
Okay.
Just in case.
Onwards and upwards. Or
Only way to go, looks like.
We should do a poll. Oh, that's what it's called. They're called predictions. People can bet channel points where they predict something. I gotta set that up.
I
'cause we
mean, I can
predict it.
scout. I mean, I can stay within 30 feet, but I can scout ahead.
Scout ahead 30
Well,
feet. Okay.
if you go ahead of us by 30 feet, we'll see the same fucking shit.
Okay, go ahead of us by 60 feet, and then I'll move up 30 feet, and then you're all within 30 feet of me.
Ah? Smart.
Just spread out, real safe.
This is a lot of planning for like what would at most become 1 round of advantage if there was an ambush.
We're surrounded
I
by
just want to be able to
cliffs.
cast aid if it looks dangerous.
And I'm pretty quiet.
But we're surrounded by cliffs. Where is something gonna hide?
I can hide in places you can't even see, and I want to actually use my ability here. That is called. Wait, let me find it. Mask of the Wild. So I can attempt to hide even when I'm only lightly obscured. May I do that?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so
What
do
are
I
the other
just...
names for? What are the other names of the islands? Of the names of the islands you guys put out? Because I'm making a poll.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Iotfi?
Uh-huh.
IOTF?
IOTF. Yeah.
Island of Chad?
Is that
Island
it?
of Fates?
Yeah.
Unnamed? I don't know.
Okay.
Island formerly known as the Fates.
Totally known as the Fates. Yes.
Yeah.
Cray, I don't see that mask on your inventory.
Oh, it's on the... No, it's features and traits.
A
Mask
racial
of the
trait.
Wild. It's a racial
Oh.
trait.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
So yeah, you're able to hide. So yeah, you would be able to like hide, even if it's. I'm gonna say there's a slight mist on the island. I'm still in my 7C mindset from last week of yes and. There's a slight mist on the island, enough for you to hide as you move forward. And I will treat that as obscured, lightly obscured. And you all move ahead. There's a poll in the chat now if you guys want to use it.
What did you roll?
Roll your hide check, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, so that's my stealth roll? Okay, my stealth check. Oh, I hope it's a good one.
I hope it's a bad
No,
one.
it was a critical fail. Oh, stealth. 9.
We can all see you.
Critical. Fuck this shit.
You move forward, and you're trying to like stealthily hide. And I don't think that you fail. Like you don't like make a fool of yourself so much as like when I say there's very little on the island, there is like nothing. Like the lack of pretense on this place is there's nowhere to hide to the point where like you would basically be doing this, and this isn't like a prop. You would just be doing this.
Can you
so
see me
just, like-
now? Can you see
Yeah.
me now? See? I can see. See?
Yeah.
You're right there.
Oh no,
You're not as
where's
good as you
Penguin?
think, Prey.
This
Very good.
sucks.
I totally know you're there.
Targa, sorry.
I'll show you guys next time. This place sucks. It just fucking...
No, I'm sure that
Oh,
you're
of course
great.
it's the island. Of course it's the island.
Listen, Island of Chad does not want to play with me right now, okay?
Well, it's because you gave it that stupid name.
Is that what we're calling it?
I'm not calling it that.
No.
Island of Fates. You name a chapter in a book, the Island of Fates, and everybody gets excited to get to that chapter. You name an island, you name a chapter Chad, and people are just worried.
No.
Or to be disappointed. Yes.
Yeah.
No, it cannot be Chad. People, please vote. It cannot be Chad.
Pinky stares at the camera and says,
Fourth wall. Plus.
I'm expecting your bacon to vote 12 times.
as you guys move forward on the island, you get towards the center, and those of you that you guys can see the screen. I'm not gonna. I don't think the audience needs to see the screen, but I'll just show you guys. You see, get around here. You
Ooh,
see
He's
a
using
few
your
more.
freaking bacon on Chad. Come on.
Someone's going all in with the bacon, and I respect that. It's a bacon war.
Oh, that's tiny. What is that?
That's
What?
what she said.
Told you Island of Chad. Okay, wow. Okay.
I had a mood for almost 3 minutes. As you make your way through, you get to this area where there's like a walkway around to the only cave entrance you can see. And there is, well, no, I'm gonna say there's 4 cave entrances on the other side. And on the way, there's a large pit down below, just along the walkway. And you can look down at the pit. Those of you that do see a small, fetid, shallow pond, you see humanoid skeletons in the pond. Many of
Nope.
them reaching out and trying, like skeletons look like they're reaching out trying to grab the sides of the wall.
I cast aid.
I would like to use my divine sense,
Mm-hmm.
which should give me an ability to tell. Where's my features and traits? Divine sense. Anything affected by the Hallow spell, know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet, not behind total cover.
You cast this celestial fiend and undead.
Yes.
You cast this. And if someone's messaging me, I hope it's about the game.
Nope.
You don't see anything. There's nothing that lights up. This place is once more barren. You do see four cavernous entrances along the way. And three of them are small, about the right size for the party to wander through. But one of them is large, almost like a gate. And when you look at the four of these, feel like a wind almost blowing from each of them. And then you see this shadow of a thing, this figure moving out of the large entrance.
Why do I feel like we're going to have two people guarding these entrances? One who can only tell the truth and one who can only tell lies.
Kyra goes,
Boy.
oh, well, if you see that, then what you should do, I can't tell you, I have to let you solve it on your own. Oh, but it's good.
I don't like
Can
riddles.
can we discern any sort of like shape of the shadow, or is it just
Yeah.
kind of misty?
Yeah, no, it's kind of as you look through, you see what looks almost like a centaur, a humanoid figure with like a monstrous bottom half moving forward. And then do any of you want to do anything before it emerges?
How's the light here? Are we well lit? Do we get a good sight?
It's
we wanna-
overcast.
Do we
It's
want to
overcast.
hide?
It's overcast. If you want to hide, you can hide. But if you're looking for a specific thing, as far as the lighting question, I need to know what you're looking for so I can work with you.
Just want to see if we're like we're going to be standing out like a sore thumb, or are we?
Oh yeah. No, there's no hiding for you here.
Okay.
Like you're on that walkway right next to the pond, and there is nothing to hide behind. Like the only way for you to hide right now would be to retreat, which is an option, but that is
Oh.
the visibly only thing, or to pick one of the random 3 caves and go into it.
I mean,
We
we're
might as
here
well
to talk to the Fates, maybe.
introduce ourselves.
Yeah. Are those skeletons trying to climb out of the pond, or are they just like in the pond, unable to get out?
No,
What
they're
they
not.
look
They're
like.
not undead. They are actual skeletons. They
Okay.
are skeletons that clearly died while trying to get out of there.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go.
I'll wave at the oncoming feature.
Hit Euphemian with a quick guidance.
I'll stand
And-
right to his side. He's a talker, but I want to protect him.
And out of the cavern emerges this woman who is almost centaur-like in her shape. She stands holding a blade in one hand, like on her side, like she's sort of keeping it at her side. And the bottom half of her is monstrous, almost like a panther or other great beast. I'm gonna put a picture of her in the chat.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
This is in the Discord. If you all want to go see that, you can go see it. Fatima, they have made it to the Island of Fates. I don't think they've done much besides prepare for it and talk, but they are aware that there is. Kyra told a story that could be summarized as people have the power to change their fate for the better or for the worst. They could be their own salvation or damnation, which she felt the need to share with them before they got on this island. And that's really narratively what we've done. We've also tried to name an island chat. You see this woman, she looks at each of you and she says, "You're expected. It would be wise to follow me."
Lead on then. Far be it from me to keep anyone waiting.
She turns and wanders down this large cavern. Show of hands, who's following her? And as you follow her down this cavern, this tunnel, you see along the way little rooms carved into here, like little resting areas carved into the walls. And in one place you see a person sobbing with his head in his hands, just weeping and wailing, and you hear this emanating through the halls. She walks up and gets to him, and she turns to him and says, "What's done is done. Stop that." And he lifts his hands up, and you see just pure smooth skin where his face should be. And he just stares in her direction for a little bit, and she says, "Stop." And he just sort of crawls into a corner and puts his face back in his hands, and you hear him just sort of quietly trying to stifle these sobs.
But he has no mouth and no eyes.
And he
Correct.
must scream.
Correct. And she says, she sort of looks in your halfway in your direction and says, "It's begun for him," and begins to walk further down.
I'm gonna lean over to Kyra and just, "What's begun? Do you know what she means?"
I don't know. I heard that people that disappoint the fates can be kept prisoner here, but I haven't really had a time to look into it myself. There's not a lot of stories about what happens because not a lot of people tell them afterwards. She walks ahead and she says, we accept the fates as they are and the fate that we are given. We break our promises. We are held accountable. All of us." You walk past, and as you see this this large mass of rot and bones starts to move and shuffle, like glide past past you guys on down the hall in another direction. And she says, "An explorer from the outer lands. I believe it's known as an elf." And she leads you all on. Who is continuing to follow her, and who wants to raise your hand if you want to continue to follow her? If you keep your hand down, I'll assume you want to do something. All right. You follow down, you pass a Medusa who, when she realizes that you're nearby, turns and just stares at the wall until you move past her. You get further, and you hear this cackling echoing from deep within the cave. This laughter, this hideous laughter. And the woman stops and says, they take oaths and promises very seriously. If you had a choice to break a deal with a god or with a fate, the wisest thing you could do is prepare for the wrath of the god. I warn you, I won't pity you if you make the same mistake as many, many do. And she stands to the side to allow you all to pass. Show of hands, who's going into the large open room?
Yeah, what's the worst gonna happen?
What's why are you here? What's your name?
People asked me that a while ago. I don't see the point in holding on to that. I was an Amazonian. I looked similar to... And she looks at Callista. And then she sort of thinks for a second, lost in thought, and she says, I asked for aid for our island. They gave me a cost. I agreed to pay the cost and then fled. I thought that I fled. And she looks at Craven, just sort of waiting for anything else.
Would you like a name?
There's no point.
Do you miss the island you were from?
I'm not going to become like the helpless thing at the front of this cavern. Face in my hands. I am who I am now.
Understood. But the island is free. I don't know if that will mean anything to you.
That sounds like something that would have meant something to me some time ago. It sounds like trying to recall a dream.
Yeah.
You made an effort. Just watch your words. She stands to the side. And you hear this voice from inside the hall that says, Kiana! Hello? Cleon? Callista. Aaron. Come in, come in! You're deeply expected. We would love to have you as guests. And you hear another voice that says, Get in here already. You know that we've been expecting you.
I'll go in.
I'm gonna go in first in front of Euphemian.
As
And,
Craven pushes to the front, you see this large room. This expansive room that smells almost overwhelmingly of rotten eggs. A large pit in the center of the cave filled with bubbling yellow ichor. Swimming around in that are very large, worm-like larvae with mortal faces, human, satyr, centaur, elven faces. Scattered around the cave are just heaps and heaps of filthy linens. And at the far end of the room, you see a very, very large loom. Impossibly large. It weighs, easily looks massive, like to the size of more than a story tall. And you see like these ladders to climb up and down it. You see 3 haggard old women collaboratively working on it. One of them is sort of stitching and moving things. One of them is like setting different, like moving different parts of it. One of them is like checking the cloth, the fabric that's being made. And one of them at the top, the oldest, is grabbing out of nowhere. She reaches up and plucks nothing. And then as she motions her hands down, it becomes like this thread and fiber that she weaves into the loom. And the 3 of them operating this together. And you can tell immediately that this loom was not made out of any sort of wood, but a strange metal, curved and jagged along the way. And as you get there, one of them, the eldest that's feeding the loom, says, "Prayerin, so bold. Oh, I've read about you. I've read about you and the others. Oh, hello, hello. Each of you? Well, you're all quite powerful, aren't you? Interesting. Kind of disappointing as well. Well, they're always disappointing when I finally see them." She starts
How did
reading
they
more.
react? How do they react to Kyra? Are they just ignoring her completely, or
They're not acknowledging Kyra right now. Kyra's sort of staying in the back. I will say that when they all walk in, one of the younger ones, I say younger, like she's only like several hundred years old, looks at Kyra and goes, "You're not supposed to be here." And Kyra goes, "No, but I'm not forbidden, am I?" And she goes, "No, but you know it's a bad idea." And the older one goes, "Well, if she wants to be here, that's her right. I don't think it's the wisest choice. I don't know why anybody would come here, but they always do, don't they? You don't come here because it's the wisest thing to do. You come here because you're very foolish. Or
I would
brave."
like to just channel my inner Krayrin and like angle myself in between her and the Fates.
Okay.
And I wanted to say
And
something to the effect of like, yeah, we might be foolish, but we need answers. So we're here to see you.
well, of course you need answers. You've been looking for them since oh, what is it? What is it? And she takes this thread and she jumps off the loom, and she looks like she's holding nothing, and then she grabs this thread that wasn't there a moment ago and sort of rides it down to the bottom and looks around at the linens and goes, "Oh, you've been looking for this since let's see. And she reaches and she points at one of the linens and moves it. And when she moves her hand, it sort of comes out and unfolds. And you can see this weird tapestry of abstract images. You see a large boar. You see a man adored by men and women holding a cup of wine in this celebratory stance. You see this satyr leaning back in the lap of a man being adored. You see a Triton standing in the front of a group of soldiers and you see a shadow face peering out from behind the wall of a great city. And he goes, yes, that's remarkable likeness in a way. But you've been looking for answers for a while before this, but this is no sorting. Well, and she makes this crumpling motion with her hands, and the linen folds up, and there's like another room in the back that you can't see. And she goes, yeah, and the tapestry glides through the air into that room and is gone. And she looks, and she says, "You're here to change things or to find things. Which is it? What do you want? What is your boldness?" Boldness.
Well,
What is it?
before we can really do a lot of talking,
Mm-hmm.
I suppose you know who we are.
Of
Who
course.
are all of you?
Oh, right. Right. She says, "We'll have to change things, won't we? There'll be changes in the future." Very well, first. And she whisks her hand, and you see when she does, like, moves her hands, suddenly she's holding this huge pair of rusty scissors. And she goes, "I'll be needing these." She, like, snaps them. She goes, "I'll be needing these soon, I expect. But, hello. My name isn't really important, but people call me, over the time I've gathered the name, Granny Morta. Hello. Introduce yourself, ladies." And one of the younger ones looks at you and says, "Nona." Now you know. And then the other one who hasn't spoken yet just looks up and goes, "Decima? My name is Decima. Is that okay?" And Morta goes, "Yes, yes. We've done the formalities." Everybody likes to be very polite and likes to make sure that they've done all their niceties. I'll do mine. Are you hungry at all? Are you thirsty? You need a rest? There will be a lot you'll want to discuss, and I want to make sure that you're well rested and that you are fully aware of what you're discussing.
Thank you. I appreciate your hospitality, but I think we're okay for the moment.
Okay. Nice hearty breakfast. I appreciate that. You treat them well, Kyra. And Kyra says, "Well, okay." And she says, "So, if we're not doing breakfast, if we're not doing anything like that, if you want something to drink, are you hungry at all?" And she points to the pond and lifts up her hand, and you see this huge, it looks like as large as genuinely like as large as like a pig or a goat or something, this giant larva, and she guides it onto the ground and she throws it down, and she goes, "And not these scissors, these are for the tapestry." And she pulls out this blade and just starts to and hacks the thing's face off in a single slice. And you hear it screech. And she looks at you all, looks at Callista and goes, "I don't feel too bad. It's not a person. Just someone who broke their promise." It's okay, they're good. Great. Very filling. I'll eat. You can talk. And she starts to carve this thing.
May I give you ladies a gift?
And Decima goes, "A gift?" And Morta goes, "Oh, yes, a gift. You wish to flatter us, yes. Well, please, ingratiate yourself to us. I'm sure that will be wonderful for all of us. So please, what is your gift?"
Well, I presume that those of your knowledge know the importance of this, and I will pull out the wooden top.
Yes. It's all that's left, isn't it?
That and this, and I'll hold up my pan flute.
So is this a gift for us? Think carefully, child.
If you
Think
would
very
like.
carefully. Oh, we would like all sorts of things. Do you want to give it to us, is what I ask you.
Yes, I would like to give you this gift as we enter your home. And I'm going to give her a pointed look.
And she takes it she holds out her hand and like again moves it towards her. And which one are you giving her, the pan flute or the top?
Top.
And she looks at this. She goes, "This is fun. This is good. I don't imagine I'll have much use for it, but it meant something to you to give it to us. So, thank you." And she sort of throws it up in the air, and it whisks away into the next room. She says, and she takes like this bite of the larva, and you see like the goo and like the blood dripping down her face, and or like the slime dripping down her face, and she goes, "Now, gifts from Callista, not questions. I know what's happened, all of it. But what's in your mind? That's different. What's in your heart? That's different. So I am curious as to what you're going to ask. Because you're here to ask for something. You chose this place. You sought this out.
I believe my companions have things they'd like to speak to you about first.
Oh, there's nothing in your heart, Callista? There are no questions on yours?
I didn't say that.
Well, then what are your questions?
I'm gonna look at my companions, see if I'm getting any signals.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'll nod at her encouragingly.
Okay.
And I will go and say, well, we all have asks, but I'm sure that you have asks of us.
Costs.
Yeah.
You're too polite. You're too polite. Look at me. I'm a mess. I just killed a thing in front of you. You're the one that's putting on these airs of trying to be polite. I want to know what you want to know. Do you think that the reason that that lady over there is that beast is because she failed her manners? Because she disappointed me.
So what do you need so you won't be disappointed?
The questions. I want to know what you want, because here, let me explain. If you want to say, come here, child, come here, it's okay. Each of you, it's okay, come here. And she gestures for...
I just walk up.
Yeah, she gestures each of you to get closer to the tapestry. Show of hands, who's getting closer to the tapestry? All right, Kyra's just sort of like, I'm good, thanks, and stays back. She goes, I don't want to get that close, and also, I can see like 5 times better than mortals, so fine. And Granny Morta points at this, and you see these abstract depictions of everything that's happened recently. You see Pythor standing strong on top of an island, like, you know, like in art, like tapestry and stuff, the like proportion and stuff is often very weird. You see him literally standing on top of an island, like flexing his muscles. And then you see like another one, like a next thing, an axe crossed with a lightning bolt. And then you see this person like crying out to the heavens as their body contorts and changes. She says, see, I see what's happened up to here. And all of this, and as you look around, you see in these same abstract ways everything you guys have done for the past 21 days. Some of it's very detailed, and some of it's just like abstract summations like that. But she looks at that and she goes, we craft these tapestries of every event that's ever mattered on Thylia. And every event that's come into Thylia that's mattered. And in that hall, on these floors, is everything. Don't try to read it. That's for us. But because you are brave and polite and offered me a child's toy, I will tell you what these scissors are for. And she snips them. And she says, we can look into fate. We can look into the past and find answers for you. We can also... Here. And she shows you like this obscure corner where you see Quinn sort of like leading Dendron, like pointing in a direction, and Dendron's like following. And she goes, "You remember this? Yeah. Yes, this is where Dendron leaves your story. What if..." And she cuts at the tapestry real fast, and she goes, "What if you didn't have to worry about Dendron anymore? I can tug at fate for you. I can give you answers. I can give you miracles. I can undo what has been done. I can bring what can be into being faster. Why, I could even use this loom to make for you wonderful gifts. Not as nice as a wooden top, but I can make them. In fact, if one of you were to die, that would go on this tapestry, which means I can cut it out. I suspect at some point I will stitch together the story of your rise to greatness. What if I stitch it together sooner? You can ask me information, you can ask me questions, and I'll pull my tapestries and I'll look and I'll find. Or you can ask for any favor that you can imagine that can be found in these tapestries, and I will gladly give it after we discuss the cost. You'll want to ask what the cost is now, but I'll want to ask what you're looking for first. That's better for me. Have I explained myself well, dears? I don't want to be misunderstood. Well, don't be shy. Have I explained myself?
I
Yes.
understand.
Good. So what would you like?
I'll step forward.
Hello.
I was told that, and it seems to be true,
Probably
that
is.
you were the only ones who could tell me what happened to my family.
When you say that, Decima at the back goes, "I'm so sorry about that." And Nona goes, "Shut up, dear sister. She didn't pay for it yet." And Decima goes, Sorry. And Granny Morta looks at you and says, "You have to forgive my daughter. She speaks out of turn. She is true, though. I am sorry. I'm truly sorry. It is, well, it is frankly amusing, but to think about. But I believe I'm supposed to say sorry, so my sympathy." She says, "I can give you this information. You gave me this top. That's nice. I want you to give me something in exchange for the answers you seek. And I want you to make sure that it's worth the question. Because I will give you back an answer in kind to your payment. So how much is it worth to you?" Decima looks up and watches Callista intently. Nona just sort of sighs and goes, "I hate this part."
Well, I'll look over at my friends.
No, this isn't what it's worth to them. It's what it's worth to you.
Do I have to answer now, or
If you want to
Can I-
know now.
I mean,
Take all the time you need. It's lovely and relaxing here.
I just mean, may they ask their questions in the interim while I take stock of what I have to offer.
No, it's fine. Yes, of course, dear. Take your time. You should feel comfortable when you ask these things. If you're hungry, let me know. If you're thirsty, let me know. Some people wait days before they ask their questions. Some time. Get some rest. What about the rest of you?
I have a question.
Yes. Oh, I've been waiting for this question.
Might not necessarily be something that you'd want me to ask, so I will ask something else.
Hmm.
What do we need to save that Thalia?
To save Thalia? Oh, I think that the Oracle has already made that plenty clear. We don't see the future. We understand the past. We can tug at aspects of the future that we know are going to be, but we don't see all of it for ourselves. That's the precious one's gift. If you want to save Thalia, then I presume she's already told you. But I also, when I look back at my tapestries, can't imagine that's all you want to know.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Good.
But without Thalia, there won't be events for you to cover.
Yeah. There wasn't a Thalia whenever I started covering events, and afterwards they'll just await.
Did you just weave an empty tapestry then?
The stories of the sky, the water, the chaos, the wars, the betrayals, games, things like that.
Seems to be a recurring theme, games.
We're playing one now, sweetheart.
So what do you want for that? I imagine you don't want to sit around weaving an empty tapestry. You or your daughters.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. You're the one who's trying to negotiate. I ask what you want.
And see right through me, can't you?
Easy.
Why is Letheria so interested in me?
She asked. And Decima goes, oh no. And Nana goes, I said she would. I said he would. Sorry, he. I said he would. And Granny Mortar goes, yes, but I did not. I had hoped. What would you give to know?
What would I give to know? There's only one thing I can give right now. I don't know if you have the power to take this or not. Letheria wants me here, as I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Enough that I can stay for a while longer.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, then I am forever in her grasp.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing that I can give is that
Yes.
one chance.
You would give one of your reprieves to me for truth.
I would prefer to have to know what I can do to help save Thalia.
I'm sure you'll figure that out. I can't see the future. Ask her. But if you want to know why Lutheria hates you, you know, you two have questions. Callista, Crearin. I will tell you something. I will feel generous. And Nona goes, Morta, and Morta goes, shut up, child. She says, I will tell you, you have traveled all this way, and you are the heroes of prophecy. What if I give you both your answers? I just offer them to you. Would that
Insight check. I want an insight check
roll
there.
insight?
Oh, it's gonna be disgusting. But let's go
May
see
I
what I
also?
can do.
Yeah, you guys can roll.
Okay.
18. Not gonna be good enough. Not for a fade.
Yeah, I don't know about 15.
By the way, guys, if it's too quiet for anybody else, can you let me know in the chat? Because we got one complaint. I want to make sure we're on top of this. She says, Freyarin and Callista, she genuinely seems salivating for a chance to give you this information. Like, it seems like she's eager to give you the answers.
Okay.
And
So
you
she's
ask for
saying,
nothing?
What was that?
And you ask for nothing for this.
She says, if I give you the answers, things will work out. They do that sometimes. And Decima goes, Mother, and she goes, I said things will work out. Let's start. Who wants to know the truth first?
I'm gonna quick throw a hand in front of Crayrin and just I'm sorry to press while we're guests in your home, but unfortunately that's not what I asked.
What did you ask?
Do you ask for nothing in return for these answers?
I would just like to give them to you. I would just like, as a gift to the heroes. I'm not asking for a thing right now.
I just touched Callista on her shoulder. It's okay.
Is it okay, Callista?
Let me go first.
I wouldn't lie to you.
It's not what I'm worried about.
I know. Freyarin, let me find it for you. And she closes her eyes and she breathes, like, inhales all of the stench of this place, and she goes, yes, I think. Holds up her hand, and this cloth comes from down the hall. And sort of, and as it does, it comes up and sort of drapes itself over the loom, like covering it for a minute. You see this huge tapestry stained with dirt and grime, but still fully readable. And as you look at it, you see all these symbols of all these different events that are hard to parse. And she looks and she says, Crayrin, the truth. You'll be glad I gave it to you. Come here, child. Come here. And she sort of reaches out to put her arm around you, like she's like reaching there to wrap her arm around you. Are you gonna let her do?
Before she even touches me, I'm coming closer.
Okay, you come in closer. She wraps her arm around you and sort of points out like a parent pointing to things. And she looks and she shows you two almost like stick figures standing in front of her, like next to an altar, with the symbol of Lutheria above it, and all of this like gold and shining light upon them. And she says, say hello to your parents. They were kind people. They are kind people. Very powerful, successful, rich, wealthy, influential. Everybody loved them. And they were made rich by Lutheria. See that there? And she points to the symbol again. She goes, they adored her. And then, and she points to the part where you see Lutheria reaching down, and you see all these people like kneeling and offering up something. like these strange, like circle, like these sort of spheres to Lutheria. She goes, and then came the day of the festival of wine. Lutheria asks for offerings from time to time. Each person was to give their eldest child to Lutheria as an offering. I don't know what she does with them. I've heard that they're delicious. I don't know. But, and she puts one finger and traces it over to two of the stick figures that are like together holding the sphere and standing away from the others. She goes, do you see? You see here. And she says, they didn't want to give up their child to Lutheria. They refused. They fled. You don't outrun a Titan. I'm sure any of your friends can tell you that. She was gravely insulted and came to take what was hers. They begged and they pleaded. And I think that anybody else telling this story would say that Lutheria was moved, but... And she sort of leans in close and you feel her hot, musty breath on your face. And she goes, I think you and I know better, don't we? What a handsome lad. She told them that she would see to it to forgive them and that their child would not have to be sacrificed to her if they gave up everything. If they sacrificed everything. And you see them standing next. It's the same pic as the picture before with them in the altar and like all the gold behind them, but it's literally just them by themselves, like in an empty house in the middle of nowhere. And she says, they did give up everything. And so Lutheria's hand was stayed. But she did only promise not to see you sacrificed. She didn't think that it was done yet. And so, and she points down and you see Lutheria, once again, hands held out. Hands held out. And all of this like, sort of like ethereal mist drifting down onto this small figure. And she says, she took all of her malice, all of her sadism, and all of her misfortune, and wove it through your tapestry. She decided that to punish your parents, she would give you a life of misery. And she gave it to you. And there, and there, and there. And you see after that, all the horrible things. Kraerin weeping as a child. Kraerin in the streets trying to survive in Mitros. Kraerin gored by that boar. Dead by the Cerberus. Over and all these terrible things. And she goes, Lutheria gently reshaped what would become of you so that you would have a life purely of misery, breaking again and again and again. To be honest, it might be why you can't die yet. She's not done watching you suffer. I think in some ways, and she turns and you see her face like come up with a smile, she goes, I think you're Lutheria's favorite. Oh, that must be why she wants you to make sacrifices all the time. It must just eat away at her that you're refusing as much as your parents did. There you go. That was for free. If you would like help if you would like us to help you break this curse or break away from her, we would absolutely weave you something with this loom, a cloth made of destiny itself. Would you like that?
You given me a lot to think about.
Yes, I'm sorry. Are you doing okay? Do you want to sit down?
I might take you up on that
Mm-hmm. I'd have to imagine
once
you want to.
once Thyla is saved.
Not
And
before? You don't want to stop her?
my life is already worth nothing except for Lutheria's amusement.
Mm,
I might as well be more of her plaything, as long as I
Mhm.
can be a thorn in her side.
mm.
Thank you. And I take her hand and I kiss it.
Oh, aren't you sweet? Oh, no one's kissed me like that in a very long time, but I appreciate it. If you plan to face her, let me know. I could take that destiny and weave it against her. It'd be very worth your time. Kyra sort of has made her way over and goes, Cray, are you all right?
I don't know yet, Kyra. I need to think.
Do you want to come sit with me for a minute?
I go and sit down beside her, just walk past Cleon, Euphemian, and Kiki and just kind of brush their hands a bit as I walk past. And I'll sit beside her and say, well, there was a reason.
And she said, and Kyra says, just because it's someone else, it's the way someone else is writing your story doesn't mean that it's where your story has to go. It's still your
Kyra,
story.
I know. But what is it worth if we have to save this land first? I can deal with her after, if there's an after.
There will be. I can't see the future or the past, but I know you. There will be.
I just sit and just think.
And Granny Morta looks at you. You're dejected. Would it be fair to describe you as that dejected, sort of saddened self? How would you describe your state right now?
I think Cray would be a little humbled by what his parents did, a little upset because he has such a hatred for Lutheria, and I think a bit of relief for knowing the story. I wouldn't say dejected, but more like that he was right that his life didn't mean anything to him.
And as you sit there with this thought that your life didn't mean anything, Granny Morta looks at you and smiles and looks at the others and says, you see, sometimes just seeing the look on their faces when the truth gets out really pays for itself, don't you think? Now, who's next? And that's where we're going to take our break.
Oh, fuck, that's deep. Ugh.
I will see you guys in 15 minutes.
All right.
Lord
Thank
drop,
you all
holy
very much.
shit, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And we'll get to find out what's going on with Callista next.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some ideas about things I might offer.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll see you all very soon.
Yep. See you guys
Alright.
in a bit, everybody.
In a bit.
Mm. Bye.
I'm doing it, baby.
Hello. Welcome.
Is that your? Is that
Welcome
your
back
speed?
to one of the grayest, murkiest episodes of Roll for Bowl that we've done ever.
Hosted by the Cookie Monster.
Nom, 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 nom.
B1 exposition. So anyway, if you're just joining us, the heroes have found their way to the Island of Fates, and after 67 episodes, according to the Pillow, Jin's character Kraerin has finally learned why his life is so miserable. His life has been infused with misfortune from Lutheria, who, to oversimplify a lot, kind of just thinks it's funny. Oversimplification, but not inaccurate.
TLDR.
Mm-hmm. And that brings us back to now. I guess we'll just jump right back into it. The four of you find yourself with Kyra, Kraven sitting with Kyra, all of you standing in front of this loom. The other two fates are continuing to work the loom. Granny Morta takes that tapestry with magic, holds her hand, and it rumples up, and she flings it into the back room. And she looks at the three of you and says, if there's something that you want to know, I might just tell you. These deals become very satisfying in their own way. I mean, look at him. How could anybody regret telling him the truth? And she looks over at Kraven, who's just sitting there, just lost quietly in thought as he learned the horrible truth of his life. And she says, well? And if you have no other questions, then maybe I can do you a favor. Those have costs, though. They have costs. What will it be?
I'll step up and, okay, I'll take you up on the offer. May we eat while we talk?
Oh, yes, please. Sit. Enjoy. And, she goes, do you want some of the middle part, or do you want, some of the face? Some people like the face.
What would you recommend?
Oh, no, it's your choice.
Take the middle. Let's start small.
Start small. And she carves out a little bit for you.
Mm-hmm.
And just plops it. You see like this yellow ichor and this red blood mixing together. I think she's gonna like I don't know that she has a plate as much as she's just gonna like hold it in front of you with like that mage hand thing she's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, go ahead, try some.
What does it taste like?
So you eat it? Do you
Oh,
do you want to like hold it with
eat
both
it,
hands? I want you to describe eating it. I want you to tell me.
So I like go to put my hands underneath it, and then when I realize that she's holding it, I just kind of like gingerly bite into it. Almost reminiscent of, for those who've been watching since the beginning, being fed grapes.
That.
And
no, I don't know why that's bothering me. I asked for this.
So like I kind of get under it a little bit, and then just kind of like take a very ginger bite to start with until I know what I'm dealing with here.
Mm-hmm.
Love doing this right after we talked about eating people. What's it taste like? I would love to.
Let me see.
What kind of save am I making? Let's hear it.
Have you? It tastes like a strange. It tastes like chicken.
Okay.
And
slimy yet satisfying.
When you bite into it, you feel this. You almost feel aware of the memories of someone on their hands and knees apologizing and begging for forgiveness. You get this image in your mind. They're not your memories, like it's not invading your mind, but like, you know, when a friend confesses something to you, like it's like you're being told that as you're biting into this.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, do you want any more?
Sure, let's double down.
And she hands this to you and goes,
yep.
I'd hate for you to go hungry.
I mean, it's not my favorite thing to do, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. What would you like to know while you're eating?
I would love to know what I believe only you can tell me. What happened to my family?
Yeah. Only what I can tell you. What I can tell you. Oh, that's funny because it's more true than you might know. Do you? And Decima says, well, I can go fetch the tapestry, and Mortis says, no, I've been waiting for this. I'll do this. And she sort of swirls her hand, and you see this tapestry come in and like sort of overlay across the loom like the other one. And she goes, I'll tell you the truth, and the only cost is that you have to hear me and accept it. Fair terms?
I think generous terms.
I thank you. You've been very kind. Or very few partake in the meals that I offer, and I'm glad that you did. You're sweet. You're sweet. And she holds up this loom, and Tammy's mom made the best comment of the night. And as she lines up, she shows you, how do I put this? She shows you this figure that is unmistakably the Oracle, looking up and her eyes full of stars, and looking up at Lutheria and Sidon standing back to back.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you mind if I take notes?
Oh no, please.
Okay.
I don't want you to miss a detail.
Excellent.
And she says, hear the Oracle. Don't you hate her? I don't like to swear, but she's kind of a, you know.
I haven't found that to be true, but I wouldn't say I know her that
Don't
well.
contradict me, girl. The Oracle foresaw a way to stand against the Titans in the future. And the Titans wanted to know more, the Oracle being the daughter of Sidon. Word got around, and one person reached out to her, and she points to the side, and you see this very tall blonde woman with a scythe reaching out to the Oracle, and she says, oh look, it's your friend again.
She seems very popular.
Isn't she just? And the Oracle gave her a name. And she points, and you see this small, like this silhouette of a satyr. I'm gonna say you see like a family of satyrs, like sort of gathered together, holding each other. And one satyr in the middle, like this, like kind of a group hug type thing, just sort of sitting in the middle, being held by them. And she says, this was the family that would raise the person who would defy Lutheria. And Lutheria was not amused. And so, and you see Lutheria holding up the scythe above the family and above the small little satyr in the middle. And she says, an act of cruelty in defiance of a future that had yet to be, and of profound, horrible malice. But that would have been the amusing end of it. But something more interesting happened. And I'll let you in on a little secret, Callista. It's only written down here. Nowhere else in the world. No one knows. This is your story to tell now, so listen closely. And she points to this over to the side, and you see this tree in the middle of this glade. This large, powerful tree with a single golden lamb underneath it and light shining out. And you see this woman, Lutheria, standing with her back to that scene of the family, holding the scythe forward. And then behind her, you just see the little satyr by themselves, not being held by anybody, but still in the same position. And she says, Mitros heard your agony and your grief before it could happen, your whole family's grief. And she is very powerful, but her ways are not like anyone else's. She plucked them from destiny itself, from truth itself, and she hid them, even from herself. Mitras hid your family from the truth of reality and destiny, so far away that not even she knew she had done it by the end. So pulled away and forgotten, Lutheria was unable to even remember why she hated you. And so she left. And that is why your family is gone. But that is not where your family is. Would you like to know where they are?
A theory.
Oh, you're so clever. Speak to me. I want to hear your theory.
I would just like to manifest with minor image Lutheria's scythe glowing the way that it was when I had my vision.
Mm-hmm.
And then see how she responds to it.
And she says, well, aren't you clever? Look right here. Right here. And she sort of points to what the Lyria's back is turned with the scythe. And do you want to look closer, or do you want to stay where you are?
I will look closer, yes.
You look closer, and you do see 3 outlines of people. The scythe is crystal blue, but slightly darker hues are used to make the silhouettes of 3 people within the scythe. And Morta says, not even she knows. Not even she knows, and every time she gets close to you, she brings them closer to you. That's how they've been able to reach out. If you want to get your family back, if you want to bring them back into our reality, you'll have to shatter the scythe. Easy enough, don't you think?
I mean, I think we both know that's not true, but maybe for you.
I can do a lot of things if you're willing to pay the price. But I see for you a potential boon coming. I think that you are cared for. And I think that you will have some gifts coming. Personally, I suspect they aren't enough, but I am not able to see the future. That said, if you would like my assistance, simply tell me what you would like and I will tell you the price. I would be glad to help. It's what I do.
Would you are you able to craft such a thing that could shatter the scythe?
Anyone could break it once she is gone. If she lives, then it can't be broken. Give me one moment. That is how I believe it works, but a small part of me is saying, Ben, double check that. Because that would be a fuck of a thing to get wrong.
Whoops.
We just call it an unreliable narrator. It's just the fates screwing with Callista.
I will change that, and I will say that the scythe is incredibly durable, but there isn't a secret to breaking it as much as you just need something that can break something incredibly durable, like Kiki going ham on it or something like that.
Okay.
It doesn't have like a kryptonite. You just need to strike it with a legendarily powerful blow.
Okay.
And she says, would you like to be stronger? I can make that happen. Would you like me to make something for your breaking friend over there? Or maybe I can tell you where to go next.
I will look over my shoulder at Kiki. And then I will look over my shoulder at Kyra.
Kyra's attending to Krayarin right now.
Yes.
Kray,
But the last time I asked for power, it did not go how I wanted. So
Kray, I want you to make a perception check with advantage.
I don't have my keyboard. Okay, I'm just gonna do it twice then. Perception?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go happen twice. Twice. First one is a crit for a 26.
Mm-hmm.
Hot damn.
At 26, when you look back, as the sisters work the loom, you find yourself realizing that, like, as someone who has been twisted by this fate, who's someone who's been cursed by this, you look back at it sort of wondering how it all came to be. And for a moment, you sort of see the threads kind of come together. And you understand their motions. You have always been able to process quickly and think quickly. And that combined with your connection to fate, you find yourself almost understanding the loom. And part of you wonders if you would be able to operate it. Not that you would ever get the chance, of course. You have hosts here that are already tending to it. But you feel like you understand how it works. I will leave it at that. Allie? I am not screwing you over, Allie. This was already in motion. This was already in motion, I promise you.
All right.
You were looking to them to see if they had any signs before you asked for power.
Can I help you weave?
Are you saying that to them?
Yeah.
You say that when you look at them, and they say, "Oh no, this is." Granny Mortis says, "This is complicated. There aren't many mortals that would even understand what this is."
But I can see it. You put the thread here to make that happen.
Insight.
Roll insight.
26.
Holy
Are you
shit.
kidding me?
I rolled a 19.
You see Granny Morta very confused and surprised. She is genuinely caught off guard. Like, there are things she doesn't know. She's not omnipotent. She's aware of events, but, like, internal things catch her off guard. And you see her genuinely like, what the fuck? And Granny Morta sort of looks at it and goes, Hmm. You are special. That is interesting. I might let you operate it sometime at a cost. But that is fascinating. You truly are special. Do you know that? Do you? Does it give you solace?
What will it take to get this cloth of destiny, as you call it?
It can be many things. I can make you a cloth that can shield you from Lutheria's sight. I can weave you a cloth that can't be damaged or ripped or pierced. I can make you something. I can make you a cloak that will enhance the abilities within you. I would need some money and some time, not too much time, and a favor. And if you give me that favor, I will weave this for you.
And that's
In
what
fact,
I'm asking.
if you give me this favor, I will waive the cost. Callista, I am sorry. The business calls. I don't mean to be rude.
By all means, I'll just continue to enjoy this wonderful offering you've given me.
It's delicious, isn't it?
A lot to think about.
That one offered
So-
his family up in exchange for power and then couldn't follow through. Anyway, and turns to Craven and says, I will make for you any robe that I can that you wish that would shield you from the Titan herself. In exchange for one favor. The Oracle is dead within 2 weeks.
Why do you hate her so?
She changes things. She mocks us. She pulls the future. We see where things are going, and then she pulls them in a different direction. This whole tapestry, and she gestures at the one that Callista was at. She goes, do you see it? Do you see it? And she points, and Callista, since you're close, you can see like all these stitches and like sort of imperfections and everything. And she goes, having to change it again and again as she moves and changes the future simply by reading it. The one thing that we cherish, she makes difficult for us.
But isn't that more Sidon for creating Versi rather than being something that Versi is?
We want Versi dead and not coming back. If you can do that, then you will have anything that you want of those options. I'll weave it for you myself. I'll give it a kiss for good luck. And she can't come back. If you promise to do this for me, I'll start work on it.
It's always something to think about, isn't it?
Isn't it? Take your time. Like I said, people spend days here. At this point, you just see Kyra is just sort of like... Kyra is like... I think she had like a hoodie like a long time ago. And I think like at this point, she's pulled the hood over her head so you guys can't really see her face. And she's just like, yeah, I'm not here right now. And she's just making all of the notes. But just like absolutely does not want to be seen right now. She's like genuinely, I think for the first time in a long time, in the background documenting this instead of affecting things. And she says, I think that's more than a fair deal. Don't you? If not that, I'm sure that I can come up with something else. Do you have a counter offer? Would you like me to change the terms? I'm reasonable.
What other terms would you offer?
Hmm. I would like you, says, do you know how boring these larvae can get after a while? They can be fulfilling, but it's repetitive, redundant. Grief tastes the same after a while. You know what tastes even better? Betrayal. Fear. Bring somebody from your ship here that trusts you with their life. And when all is said and done, I'll weave it for you.
It's too bad you already took care of Dangren.
Trusts you with their life. I don't think she really would. There's
I'll
people
think.
on there. There's people on there that not even Versi has any sit taken. I'm looking, and she pulls up this ship, and you see like sort of like small like outlines of all the crew members, and she goes, "Look at that, another satyr, a thief, some tiefling. I think he trusts you now. This minotaur should have died a while ago."
Would you
I'm
take
perfectly
Esta?
reasonable. Oh, I don't think Esther trusts you. Plus, I don't know how you get him on here. But I would love to devour his regrets. If I could. I suppose if you gave me the ship, I could work with that.
It seems somewhat counterproductive.
I'm trying to help.
Callista?
What?
At a loss for words, sweetheart. Take your time. Think about it. There's so many options to choose from. You could just leave. Or there are people that have tried to take the loom from us by force. It's happened before. I mean, you can ask them, and she gestures to the pit. Actually, I would say you can ask them, and she would say, you passed them on the way inside. Because she didn't transform them, she killed them. That should be more accurate.
I cannot abide by these terms to the detriment of myself.
No, it's not to yourself. You would be incredibly more powerful. You would thrive. It would be to your benefit. And if it helps, Raymond, if it helps, I'm sure that every single person on that ship would do it if you asked. Doesn't that make it easier?
And that's why I won't do it. But thank you.
You're very welcome.
Do I
Anybody else
have
want-
do I have access to the larvae, or did she eat it all?
That one's big. You can cut and eat some if you want, or tear a chunk, or whatever you want to do.
I'll reach around her, tear a chunk,
Mhm.
and disgustingly eat it.
That definitely that tastes like that anxiety that strikes into you when you know that you've made a bad decision and the only thing left is the repercussions.
Yep.
To
And
that
she goes,
point,
mm-hmm.
suppose we were to reshape the past,
Mm-hmm.
change fate.
Mm.
For the cost of a favor, what would it cost for us to be rid of Esther Arklander?
To remove Esther Arklander. If you bring a nymph to this island, I can pry Esther from the ship. A living nymph. See, I don't negotiate with the letter of a bond. Bring one here, and I will see to it that you have a way to free him.
The nymph, I'm assuming, would be killed or otherwise consumed in the act of freeing this soul.
Oh, absolutely. Naturally, entirely. Nymph are delicious, delectable, incredible. And Decima goes, they're quite good. And Granny Morta says, or if you want someone to live, you can bring one here and live. Bring a child here, and they will live. They would be unharmed. You have my word. And Nona says, Mother, what are you planning? And she goes, well, one of you two idiots is going to get yourselves killed at some point. I may as well be ready.
I shall consider your offer, although surely you understand that such things are few and far between.
Just decide whether you accept before you leave the island. And if you bring me a child, they will be unharmed, and they will be cared for. Bring me someone else, and, well, we've discussed that. If the Oracle dies within the next 2 weeks, I will very much know. I'm going to pause the game for a moment, and I'm going to clarify something. I have told you guys some of the things that she can do, but some of them I feel the negotiations would be easier if I spelled them out very explicitly in non-flavor terms. They can cast Raise Dead on any number of people you like. They can immediately boost you 1 level as a group, in addition to whatever else you'll get. They can craft you any magic item you want. And they can also give you full explanations of what lay on up to 3 other islands in the campaign. Pray, you could absolutely operate this loom on your own. It would take significantly more time than it would take them to do something, and you would very, very literally need to pry it from their cold, dead fingers. I am giving you guys steep costs, and I feel like it's only fair that you guys explicitly know what you're being offered and asked, so I'm not doing this in a flavor because there's a risk for misunderstanding that way. We now resume the narrative.
Okay, listen, above the tabletop here,
Mhm.
just as players,
Uh-huh.
I am not willing to sacrifice Versi, and I don't want to sacrifice anyone but Esther on that ship. Where can we get a nymph?
I mean, let's be real. I'm sure there's some orphanages somewhere.
I mean, you guys, you know that there are children in Mitros because Chandra's tried to offer them to Lutheria.
Yeah, but
Honestly,
like children without families. Like, we could probably find some.
Reed would be okay with it. Reed is concerned about the amount of time it would take to get there and
Yeah.
back. Like, that's just horseshit. That's
Yeah, but
Mhm.
Sidon's
anything with
gone, right? So
Yeah,
doesn't
but-
it only
Yeah, we
take like
never-
2 days?
even if it's, best case scenario, if it takes it down to 2 days, that's still 4 days there and back. That's horseshit. We can't spare that.
What if you had the siren harpy deliver a child? Like the worst fucking
shit.
stork that's ever been.
I mean, it
Like
worked.
American McGee's Yoshi's Island.
You know what? Honestly, for terms like that, I'd be okay with it. Because at
You
least
guys
for
would offer an
Cray,
innocent child?
for
Uh-huh.
Cray, at least it's being
Cared for?
like cared for.
That wasn't enough when Chandris was offering it. I
Right?
don't understand why all of a sudden now it's okay. I mean, Callista's into it, but
I'm gonna put a poll in the chat as to which of these prices the group would the table would pay for. You guys
Yeah.
can keep talking.
Let's just put it this way, because
Yeah.
the audience has helped us around. Like, for us to find a nymph, bring her willingly to her death, whereas we have some random kid get delivered by a
mean-
very bad stork is almost the best deal.
Yeah, but Euphemian wouldn't go down for that either way. Like, he's kind of got a thing for
Orphans.
orphans, abandoned kids, Not like that, Callie.
no. I'm actually just thinking about how Callista would have preferred to be raised by someone.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Cray had nobody. And he didn't know why until now. And he was cared for.
The seaweed is always greener in somebody
God.
else's lake.
Right?
Also, shows what the fuck she knows, because Bullbug would never.
You don't think Bulbug would come here and do this?
I don't think
Well-
Bullbug would sacrifice any of us.
No.
To get rid of
she,
that fish.
she was saying that any of them would be okay with this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
but-
with us sacrificing them.
yeah.
Bulbug would be okay with being a sacrifice for this in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but then
but-
I would kill Crayrin, so it would be not worth it.
Fatima asks what will happen to the child. So some people that know D&D know lore know where I'm going with this. Some people might not. Hags and then basically evil old women in D&D can more or less corrupt a child into becoming a hag and warp the child's mind into becoming a hag that wants to serve them. And hags don't reproduce through the nasty. They literally just corrupt kids to become them. So these two hags were basically that at some point. So she literally wants a backup in case one of her kids dies so that she can replace them. She might even be planning to kill one of them, but she wants an innocent child that she could warp into being one of her assistants.
As you do.
Yeah, GamerBot. I put the cost of voting up on this one because it's a more intense decision, so I didn't want people just like spamming it as much. My thought was if you did that, you would really mean it. If you're watching on the stream right now and not on the YouTube recording, you can vote on the current poll what you want them to do. Right now, offering a nymph to die is the leading choice.
Whoever voted for friend, put in the comments who you want us to betray.
Yes.
And also
Yeah,
out
that
yourself.
would be. Yeah.
I do
Tammy's
also want to
mom.
say I do also want to say that that yeah, there is genuinely the option to kill them and take the loom. That's been there. I was building up to that.
No, I
We
think
can't help it. Oh,
yeah,
so.
I don't know if as much as Crane wants to punch things, I think he'd maybe like punch the loom instead. Can we punch the loom
Whoa.
instead?
It's made out of a weird metal. You can certainly try.
Question about the nature of the Oath of Guest Friendship.
Mhm.
Would helping prevent harm to someone actively harming your host break the oath?
I'm sorry. Can you? What?
Okay, so if you can't hurt your host or you break the oath of
You're not
guest.
obligated to protect them.
No, but what if they beat the shit out of Crayrin and then I healed Crayrin and blessed Crayrin? Would that break the oath? I'm not hurting them.
If one
So,
party
like,
brings
we-
about,
we-
hold on. If one party brings about harm to the other, is what
Okay,
it
but
says.
what if killing my friend hurts me emotionally?
Well,
You can argue this with the Furies if it comes up. I will tell you this. I will not give you a direct answer, but I will give you more information. The Oath of Guest Friendship is not as black and white enforced as the Oath of Peace. This is an actual trial to determine the severity of the betrayal. If it was like, oh, you slapped him, then they might curse you with a bad back for a week. If they're like, oh, you killed him, then they might like turn you into a newt. You know?
Okay.
So I'm not giving you a direct answer. I'm saying that they will arbitrate on it and use their best judgment. So
Okay.
use your best judgment as to whether what you're thinking is worth it is worth it.
Yeah. Well, and we know how good their judgment is.
Mm-hmm.
Very benevolent.
I was nice.
No, I know. That's my point. That was nice.
Mhm.
all right. Below tabletop now, guys.
Are you guys talking in character or out of character? It's fine either way. I will slow down time.
In
She
character.
genuinely would actively host you and take care of your needs for days while you thought about it. That is not a joke. She will serve you food and wine and give you time to think about who you want to kill on her behalf.
Yeah, but the food is gross.
Yeah, that can't be helped.
It's slimy chicken. You know, what are you going to do?
Barbecue would be nice.
Okay. No. Well, a child. Any child. To be taken care of and cared for. Well, growing up, I wish I was taken care of and cared for. I'm sure there are people out there who would love to be in a better position than where they are now. Suppose we ask our,
Not
somebody.
sure that that's necessarily true.
See, you're caring for them, Bayrin, with your heart. You don't want anybody to suffer the way that you did. We'll give them a home. They'll be
There
so
are
happy
worse-
they'll cry.
There are worse things.
Let's hope so.
Well, we could ask our friend to maybe bring somebody who wants a better life for their kid.
I don't think
don't-
you're actually considering this.
Let him think about it. It's his choice to make.
I'm not killing Bercy and I'm not betraying our friends.
Oh.
Those aren't the only options. We could just leave.
You could. You could absolutely leave. Anything that happens here is your choice, sweetheart. No one's pressuring you. I have told you that here on this loom, made of the finest metals, is what you would need to be able to withstand the fury of Lutheria, to go unnoticed from her. Oh, the thought occurs to me. If you could hide, you could be choking the life out of her before she knew what was happening. But you, well, you're moral sort. You're too noble to want to do that sort of thing. So I'm sure this holds no interest to you. Maybe it's best just to forgive her for what she did to your parents. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What she's doing to your parents.
I'm sorry, Euphemia, it's something I'm thinking about.
Weigh the options.
You can think about it all you want, so long as the answer that comes out is no.
Melissa, your thoughts?
I mean, I can't lie. I mean, I'm kind of with you on this one. We could find someone who has no one else.
They wouldn't be missed.
Well, they wouldn't be alone either.
The only
Nona
thing
said-
worse than being alone is to be around people who make you wish you were alone.
Nona says, "Don't worry, we won't torture her." And Decimus says, "Yes, I imagine that Granny would I imagine that Mother would hardly treat her as anything at all until it's time." And Granny Mortis says, "There, you see? Wouldn't harm a hair on her head. She'd be all by herself, completely safe." Doesn't that make you feel better?
Well, while my friends take some time to think, can I ask for the price of something else?
I mean, what the something is? I'm always willing to help.
What would it cost to get my memories of my family back?
I would love to give this to you. I would love to give this to you. But you need to break them from the site. I can't give them to you. Everything about their existence is in there. They aren't stored somewhere else. The very fact that they ever existed is held within that scythe.
What would it take to make me stronger? Clarification. Ben.
Mhm.
One of two things. Level, boost to my strength score. That's what I mean.
Oh, interesting. Fatima, what they're getting out of it, there's a few different options. The group can basically get a incredibly powerful item for Krearin, just a ridiculously powerful item, or Krei can offer, the Fates have other offers that they can choose, such as a free bonus level up for the entire group, a bringing back any number of people from the dead once, crafting any magic item they could ask for, or a fuck ton of intel about islands they haven't seen yet. So, and also they can request something else too. These are just opening offers. They can provide a lot. I believe the one that they're currently negotiating for is the like literally god tier item for Krei, but that's up to them. She says to become stronger. Well, I think to become stronger, bring someone here. Bring someone here and cast them into this pit. And she points where the larvae are.
Anyone?
Anyone that's known you and trusted you for over a month. If they don't, someone whose thoughts would be betrayal and confusion and fear in their final moments. You really sense in the taste.
Do you want anything that isn't food?
Versi gone. Oh. Oh. And she looks past Krayarin. She says, what if you slit Kyra's throat? Oh, don't worry. She won't die for too long. She's a god, apparently. You'd find her again. Kyra looks up, her face just white, and she just sort of leans back and puts her hand on the throat. And she goes, tell them, Kyra. Tell them you wouldn't stay dead. And Kyra just goes, and she just sort of nods.
All right.
And she goes,
I'll meet. Oh, go ahead.
Mhm.
No,
She
go
goes,
ahead.
I've never seen a god die. It would be so interesting and amusing to watch that I don't even care if she stays dead. I wouldn't even need to devour anything that you would find unseemly. I just want to be there when it happens.
Can I do a quick read on my friends?
Sure.
Thoughts, people, reactions, responses?
I just want to.
Okay, we can pause the game and talk about it if you guys want to talk about it out of character.
I'm definitely doing the child. That's my thought. God tier for a kid for sure.
Euphemian is keeping himself as measured as possible. He's putting his best poker face on, and intentionally not trying to not give anything away.
Kiki?
They are tempting offers, but I find the prices are too high.
All right. But no one's like projecting anything at me at the suggestion for Kyra, correct?
Oh God, no.
Specifically.
I know.
Absolutely not.
No.
That one is like a no.
That's a non-negotiable. Non-negotiable.
Kyra has
Could
confirmed
I-
that she would
You
come
to
back.
me.
I would like to move over to Kyra.
Kyra looks at you. Yeah.
I'm going to move behind her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to whisper in her ear, play along. I'm not giving anything away to anybody else.
You're about to no.
I'm gonna
No.
take
I'm
out-
making my way over there too. Not
I'm-
fair, and I want to try to take her hand, and she has to fucking pick.
Hold on. No. If he's being clever about this, I want to finish hearing his description before I hear every
I
action.
just wanted to read.
You were standing around looking. He's doing this.
Well,
okay.
you're getting read. Get it?
Very funny.
I'm not. I want to hear what he says first before we rule on any sudden actions.
I already know what he's gonna do.
I am going to take out my dagger, and I'm going to take a healing potion in my other hand. I'm going to...
Then I will stop you there.
Okay.
I will stop you because I have an idea where you're going with this. Allie, I do stand by that you were role-playing thinking about something while he was describing doing something. That being said, I'm not freezing you in time, so if you
he's
want to...
moving, that's something that I would get a read on.
Let me finish what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're not frozen in time. So if you see him go over there, whisper something, start to do this, I'm giving you a window to react to that. I'm not giving you a window to like jump in front of like it happening, but you can react to the fact that he's doing
I'm
that.
not going to interpose myself. I want to walk over and offer her my hand, and I want her to choose.
Choose what?
Play along with him, or come to me.
Okay, you offer your hand to Kyra. Reed, what are you doing? Because that doesn't stop time for you. So are you going to?
I'm not going to stop it. I just putting her in the position.
Basically, I want to go through, and I'm going to mimic as though I'm going to slit her throat.
And you want it to be convincing enough to
throw off my friends.
Your friends, but
the
not.
Fates.
I want you to roll a performance check with advantage, and I want you to send me the result.
Okay.
Privately.
find my private rolling thing here.
I think Cray is too busy thinking about what kid he'd sacrifice. So he's thinking about all these kids that he knows
Some
in the
babies are
cult.
dicks. That's all I'm saying.
You know, he's thinking about all the kids that he had, like the one that sent the message to Callista and tried to steal from her.
Did steal from me.
I mean, the one that did steal from
Did steal.
Callista. I want to find that asshole and bring that kid over.
If it was working for your aunt, I'm sure you could.
Exactly. Exactly. Like there are some kids he's willing to part with 100%.
Did you see me? Okay, you feel me? Okay. I want the rest of you to roll insight checks privately. Send me the results privately.
Wait, how do
if
we
you-
do this privately again?
I can roll for you if you like.
Oh, hey, just like that, I think. Let me try. What kind of check?
Insight
Insight. So,
or perception. I think perception.
oh, perception. Okay,
He's trying
perception
to trick us.
is.
What'd you say?
But he's trying to trick us.
Mm-hmm. So you're rolling your ability to see
Oh.
through that.
Yeah,
let
which
me
is not my ability to see it. It's my ability to see into what he's doing, right?
No, it's the physical action. If you want to roll insight, roll insight. Roll insight there. That's fine.
No.
Go with it.
No, I want to respect your ruling. I just am trying to
Yeah,
make a case.
my ruling is whichever you want to use.
Okay. It's a big difference for me.
Hey, I sent it off to you, Ben.
Okay.
I'm going to send you a picture because it's a physical die.
You can just type it to me. I
I will
believe you.
just type it to you.
Yeah, I don't know how to do this quietly.
All right. I can roll for you, Kiki, if you'd like. You just type
Well-
in /GM roll 1d20 plus your 3.
Slash DM roll altogether or space or what?
I'm sending you the exact prompt on Discord.
Oh,
Um,
okay. And now, sorry, do I choose if it's insight or perception?
Yeah, but I gave you perception because that's your stronger one.
Okay, but I have advantage on anything that I can see, so I'll change that to 2.
Mhm.
Case 2. Okay. So you should see that.
Yeah. Reed, thank you for what you sent me. One second. Second. Reed, I sent you a message.
Yep.
And Euphemian takes the knife and the potion, brings it up to Kyra's throat. He just sort of looks up at him, trusting for a moment, takes a breath, and you know that she is going to be able to convince the Fates. This is the greatest performer in all of Thylia. But then the blade is moved, and something very unexpected happens as it does genuinely drag across her throat. And the red falls. And Kyra looks at Euphemian in confusion for a moment, pulls her hand to it, the throat, and looks at Callista.
I instantly cry out.
Okay.
I'm going to look at the two of them, Callista and Crayrin, since Kiki has sort of been quiet this whole time.
I look at that cry from Callista and gasp.
This is what you wanted, isn't it? Success at
Kyra.
any cost?
Not for someone we cared about.
Kyra kneels down and is holding her throat and tries to say something about interference.
I slide to her side and put my hands on her neck to check if it's real.
Yeah, you feel the red.
What have you done, Euphemian? And I run to Kyra.
And she...
So I can feel that this is happening?
Yeah.
Cure wounds.
You cast Cure Wounds, roll for healing.
Kiki is literally just standing there, not knowing what's going on, not trusting her eyes. She's literally frozen.
I stand up to Euphemian and I say, what the Euphemian?
It's all the same, isn't it?
11, Ben.
Okay.
We're here to get power. We're here to get whatever we want. And damn the repercussions, right?
I punch him.
Okay, full punch or just like a 1 damage hit?
A full punch.
Roll for attack roll.
I'm going to shield.
Okay.
So 16.
Refim, what's your defense?
With shield will be 23.
Okay.
And I go, and I said, fuck you! And I'm gonna do my...
I believe Reed gets an action now. Unless
yes,
you're still
that's
doing
right.
it on your turn. Unless you're
Well,
still doing multiple attacks on your turn.
Yeah, I was gonna do my
Okay.
I was gonna do my flurry of blows and my second attack. So
Mhm.
here we go.
Mhm.
Flurry of blows. Okay.
All
So
right.
first flurry of blows is 10. Next one is 15. Oh, 23. Fuck you, Reed.
As you're striking,
23
hitting-
is my AC.
As you're striking again and again, not able to land any of the hits on the shield, Euphemian blocking each of them.
Stop rolling crit fails in front of me.
I know,
And-
right?
Are you gonna
Anyways.
write
No.
down a note, Allie?
No, I'm not even watching this.
Is that the end of your turn,
I'm
Craig?
trying. I am
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm basically like, because there's nothing that I can do, so I just try to hit
Reed,
Reed.
I believe it's your turn unless anybody else wants to like roll for initiative against you.
I'm just going to grab Cray's wrists
Mm-hmm.
and restrain
Not
him.
up here, remember, down here, because
Yeah.
I'm short.
You grab his wrist. As you do, Morta just laughs and goes, "Oh, this should be payment on its own. Truly. This is delightful. I do think, as much as I feel this, Baron, Callista, can you look at me for a moment, please? Are the two of you?
And I look.
Allie, are you doing it?"
Nope, not yet.
She looks at you and she goes, That is something to cherish. Oh, Cleon, I do thank you. But I want to be perfectly clear that as wonderful as this is, this does not count as payment. We'll have to continue these negotiations if you don't mind. She says this, and you hear this voice whispering to you. Did you do it, Yuffie? Did it get the point yet?
I think so.
Okay, sorry. I can't interfere. And Kyra sits up and she goes, I can't really interfere. Sorry. And she like wipes the red, like throws the red on the floor. And she goes, I can't interfere too much, but I mean, if Yuffie wants my help proving a point in an argument, I don't see the harm in that. Thanks for the potion, by the way.
Glad to help.
I mean, well, it didn't even hurt that much. I just had to do a little showmanship and everything like that. But, Callie, you're getting really good at healing.
I'm like still sobbing, and I just like grab her by the shoulders and I just shake her really hard, and then I kiss her straight on the lips.
Okay, that's a lot of
still-
emotions to have at once.
Still crying. Still crying.
She goes, your lips are really soft, but also that was a lot of emotions to have at once. And she goes, I just, Euphemian came over, and I knew what he was doing, and I knew that he had a point to make because I know him. So whenever he told me, I just sort of decided to lean into it. This is him. I'm just watching. And
Is any part of that pastry? Is any part of that tapestry nearby me at all?
which one? The one that they're weaving?
You know, just the
Actively-
one that that was kind of when they were trying to show us about our lives and stuff like that. Was there anything on there? Like, is any of that nearby?
There can be. Like, what are you looking for?
I wanted to find one of Euphemian's threads and just kink it a little bit to make him, I don't know, like.
You go. Roll perception. Roll perception. Roll sleight of hand. Roll sleight of hand.
Ooh.
If this is how we all die.
Fucking 30.
Nat 20, rolling at 30. What is your
Holy
intended
shit.
effect? What is your intended effect? Be very specific.
Like,
Do
you know
not
how-
be- do not be vague.
You know voodoo dolls, you know, when you like
Mhm.
put a needle in their like tummy and they kind of double over because it kind of
Mhm.
hurts. Kind of like that. Like, how dare you?
You
I
do
don't
this.
want to do anything to hurt him. I just
You
yes, like exactly like that.
You
Exactly like
You go
that.
through and you prick one thread using the loom for the first time ever. And Euphemian, you know that time in the academy, I don't really want to go detail, but that one absolutely humiliating time that you worked years to forget whenever you embarrassed yourself in front of the whole school. You suddenly remember it completely vividly, and also are become aware of the fact that other people probably remember it more than they say as well. And just all of these things, it's like this humiliation and shame of the worst moment in your academy life just sort of comes to mind as you remember that it's not forgotten. And Morta looks at Craven and goes, "That's clever. You all are very amusing and it's fun. I want you to stay here for a while. So let's continue to discuss our terms, shall we? What is it worth for you to break the neck of a titan?" And that is where we'll end this session.
Oh,
So
fuck.
Reed rolled a performance check of 20. Kyra rolled a performance check of 27.
Oh my
All
god.
of you rolled significant. Kiki rolled a 19. All of you rolled specific. So I messaged Reed and I said, "I know what you're doing," and they all fell below your performance score. So I'm going to sell it like it's real. And he said, "Okay."
Yeah.
I crit failed.
Oh
Crit
my
failed.
god.
It's just the panic setting in.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I wasn't gonna do it for the record. I was just trying to get a read on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to
Oh.
have such an upset stomach. I will not be able to sleep.
I was gonna do something really cool and sexy, and instead I just look like the biggest fucking simp.
Oh, that was the greatest thing. I am so sorry. I did specifically. I told Reed, I'm like, we're going to, I said I want to engineer this. So I said, "This is what I think you're doing, and I think you got the effect right." He's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Okay," because I'm not letting them leave the session thinking she's really dead. Reed, beautiful play of the game.
God damn you, Reed.
I knew something was up because he said that he had like the knife, but then the fact that it actually, in Crayoran's mind, actually happened. Of course, he's gonna be like fucking just beating the shit out of his friend for doing it.
This is
That
gonna be a
was
I just want to
stress ball.
sacrifice a kid, man. I'd not fucking kill one of our gods. Some random fucking kid. Who cares?
If you
Ugh.
kill Kyra, she will come back with another level of. No, she won't come back with exhaustion. She will come back, and it'll take her a while to get reunited with you guys. because she won't come back here. She would come back in Mitros.
Fucking Pythor, now friggin' Kyra. Let's just get rid of all the gods. Oh wait, it's the Titans we're trying to get rid of.
Mm-hmm. Anubis purple, that would be fucked up. Thank you. And that is basically the session, what we've been doing. So, thank you.
Thanks for
Alright.
joining us, guys. Welcome to Roll for Bull.
I told you it was going to be a lore-heavy session and also really, really painful. I fucking delivered. I got no doubts about that.
Oh, so bad.
Allie, you now know your full story. There is nothing more to add to Callista's backstory. Same for Krearin, same for you. Jen, you know what the deal is. And you guys can walk out of here right now. You can thank them for their time and leave. You could come back. You could leave and come back, and it would be allowed to fight them, given what Allie mentioned. And then you could just steal the loom. That's allowed. Or you can make this deal.
Cray make the sleight of hand and get that 30 again, and just.
It's 1,000 pounds. So I want to emphasize the importance of this is that you guys have every choice what happens next. And that's the point. Thank you all for coming to this stream. If you want us to be here next
Yay.
week, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. We had a good old time today.
We're starting an hour earlier, right? Next
On
week?
the
Not next
20th
week.
and 27th.
2 weeks.
27th.
Next week is normal, but then the 20th and the 27th.
I lied.
Man,
Can't
it's a good
relate.
thing we had a relaxing filler episode of the Fury trial before this.
Yeah. Just.
There's nothing
well.
wrong with becoming a hag.
You know
I
what?
like-
Most
I
of
like
us
that the-
do.
I love that the lowest cost you guys have right now is betraying a child and damning them to become a hag. Like,
Fuck,
you
I
guys
don't-
are like, well, that's room and board. Uh,
I mean,
Bottom
some
of
of
the
them
Loving
are.
mother. Okay.
Bottom
I
wants
mean,
to run a,
no.
Bottom wants to run a one shot of Call of Cthulhu. I'd be down for that at some point in the future. I think that sounds delightful.
I want y'all to meet my hexblood. That's what I want now.
Mhm.
Who does nothing but
Um,
absolutely massacre hags.
All right, I'm gonna go for right now. You all have a wonderful night. Thank
Have
you.
a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see
Thank
you
you.
next week.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Ben.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.